Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, it's time for me to put the game back into perspective. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Also follow me on social media at Boxingego. Now, I want to talk about Vasyl Lomachenko, High Tech, aka the Matrix. Whoa, I know Kung Fu. But sensational performance yesterday. I did a post-fight. It's an in-depth one, and it's surprising that I can even do an in-depth one based on how one-sided the fight was with Jason Sosa. Nothing away from Jason Sosa. He showed mad heart, much more of a fight and much more like heart, I guess you could say, than Nicholas Walters when he faced Lomachenko, but the outcome was the same. You had a guy or guys who were losing every single round no matter what. Now, post-fight, Lomachenko, he called out some people and he said what he wants next for his career, right? And that's what I want to talk about, what you guys seen in the title. And he says, I wanted to do my job and show everyone the high tech. I think I did my job very well, which he did. I mean, he was like toying and embarrassing. It was like a cat and mouse game, and he was just too stealthy, too agile. But he said, I only want to fight champions. I'm going to call Top Rank on Monday to see if any 130-pound champion will fight me. I don't care who it is. If they don't, I'm working my way towards a bigger picture, and that's Terence Crawford. He also says, I would like to make a fight as soon as possible with Mikey Garcia, right? And they asked him about Salido. The first time we fought, I was a 4th grader fighting a 12th grader. Now I graduated the university, and I want to invite Salido to my university. So I'm going to say, as a fight fan, I like Lomachenko's attitude. I mean, people get mad when Broner, man, you know, AB, ass beaten. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad for a fighter believing they're the best. You know what I mean? You don't train and do hours in the gym each day and all this stuff and grow up in the sport and not feel confident in your ability to beat the next guy who's realistic. You know what I mean? We're not talking about Lomachenko versus Deontay Wilder or nothing, but he should feel like he could beat anyone. Whether he could do it or not, he should feel like he can beat anybody. So I have no beef with that. I have no problem. However, time to put the game in perspective. To me, I think that Crawford should, I mean, I give him props for wanting to challenge himself with the best, but that doesn't seem realistic for him to fight Crawford at all. You know what I mean? And you guys, see, this is the thing. This ain't HBO. Like Mayweather said to Guerrero, this ain't Berto. This ain't HBO. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a horse in the race. I'm just a boxing fan, and I give my opinion. And I don't have to protect my investment. If I think a fighter needs criticism or praise, I can give you guys both of that. Like Usyk, I told you guys in a previous Lomachenko video, I think Usyk's performances have been inconsistent. He looked very good against Glavowski, but the first half of Michael Hunter, he was struggling to get off first, and it took him a minute to warm up. I'm not HBO. Let HBO tell it. Usyk was just dominant and he won every single round. That's not what I've seen. So that's not what I'm going to tell you. Lomachenko is a beast. You could type in the words Vasyl Lomachenko or Lomachenko Boxingego into the YouTube search engine and see every video I've ever made about him and compare it. I've been praising the dude well before he became a household name. I don't even think he's a household name, but before he became high tech and the Matrix and stuff like that, when a lot of people didn't know about him. Very good fighter. Crawford, I don't see that, because Crawford, I've seen him fight live, right? I still got to catch a Lomachenko fight live, but I've seen Crawford on multiple occasions. That's a different fight. That's no Jason Sosa. Like, and I hate to be so blunt, but I'm pressed for time. And the thing about it is, I'm not taking anything away from the heart of Jason Sosa, but Jason Sosa is Jason Sosa. He's not Terence Crawford. Frame-wise, Crawford has fought at higher divisions than Lomachenko. Completely different fights. Jason Sosa, in my opinion, lost to Nicholas Walters. It was no draw. He had 3 amateur fights, and I think he lost 2 of them, right? And he got knocked down versus Javier Fortuna, got back up, rallied back, and stopped the champion at the time, Javier Fortuna. Great win. He had a tough fight with Steven Smith. So I've studied his career. Lomachenko is a beast, and it's a hell of a performance, and it takes a special talent to do that to Jason Sosa. But again, that is not Terence Crawford. Crawford has an amateur background with wins over another guy that Vasyl Lomachenko wants to fight, Lomachenko, and that's Mikey Garcia. He's beaten Danny Garcia. So he has an amateur background. He has a bigger frame. He has more power because he's naturally bigger. Sometimes when he rehydrates, he's in the 150s, like in the Gamboa fight, John Molina fight probably. And the big difference is, if I know anything, and I would bet money, knowing Crawford's temperament, he is not going to sit there and let you tee off on him and just sit there and not counter or try to counter or anything. That's kind of what Jason Sosa was doing. You know what I mean? And if you fight, I'm telling you guys, if you fight a fighter like Lomachenko or Golovkin and you just submit and they see that, you're toast. There's nothing you could do. Lomachenko starts getting in rhythm. He has the conditioning, and he's just like, he gets into the matrix zone. Same thing with Golovkin, but Golovkin's more powerful. His shots are like breaking you down more. And it's a different beating. Golovkin's beatings are like more physical. And I think Lomachenko's beatings are more frustration and more like psychological. Like, you're just like, damn, I can't even touch this dude, and he's hit me with 8 or 9. So it's like, it discourages you. And they're both equal beatings, because one may be physical pain, but the psychological pain, boxing is a psychological sport, and guys like Mayweather and also Lomachenko have the ability to break you down psychologically, and you're like, man, I cannot touch this dude. He's right there, I see him, but every time I throw a punch, I'm missing. You know what I'm saying? So credit to guys like Lomachenko for studying the game and improving their defense while doing their offense and stuff like that. But again, Crawford, that's not a good fight. Even Egis Klimas, Lomachenko's manager, he's saying like that's not even a realistic fight. Crawford's saying the same thing, right? And I don't know, maybe he needs to talk to Vasyl, because Lomachenko's calling out Crawford. Crawford said that's not realistic. Like, he almost laughed at the question. They were at the media day for the Felix Diaz fight, and he's fighting another Olympic gold medalist, Felix Diaz, who's not the tallest, but you look at him, he's probably massier and probably has more power than Lomachenko, Felix Diaz does. I mean, he's competed at 143 before with Lamont Peterson, an elite level name. You know what I mean? He competed with the bigger Sammy Vasquez. Lomachenko hasn't entered the 35, 40-pound division, so that's a big ask. And like, I mean, again, props to Lomachenko if he wants to fight Crawford. I think that's a bad look for him, and I think that might even be asking too much too soon, biting off more than he can chew. But credit to him for wanting to fight the best. I don't see the Crawford fight being good, because like I said, I've been to Crawford media days. I've seen him fight multiple times, and I would bet money that he's not going to have a Jason Sosa type of performance and approach where Lomachenko is doing this footwork and just teeing off on him and he can't hit you, because Crawford has good athleticism, he has footwork, he's a complete fighter to me, right? So I think Lomachenko should take that type of fight out of his head. Moving on to the other trilogy, Crawford, I think that's too much. I even think Lomachenko, to me, probably has a better chance of beating Pacquiao, because Pacquiao's a bit older, and even that is not I'm not saying he does beat him, but that would be because at least Pacquiao's short and he's still powerful. So, but Lomachenko's a southpaw, Pacquiao's a southpaw. Terence Crawford, he's just a different animal, and he's versatile, so he can get in the southpaw stance and arguably fight better than him as an orthodox fighter. He's big, rehydrates, has power to stop 140 pounders. I don't see that. I don't see Lomachenko having the success, and especially when he has a loss already. There's a blueprint on what Lomachenko. You could say he's improved or whatever, but he's improved. But we haven't seen him fight the exact same style of fighter with the same type of intangibles that gave him his first loss, because he hasn't rematched Salido. You know what I mean? So instead of he says invite Salido to the rematch, pay the man, and let's see that, and let's see how much improved he is. But for now, I really can't see the Crawford fight. I think that's asking too much. Mikey Garcia, that's another tough fight, and I don't think it's what people think. Some people are like acting like this is a blowout for Lomachenko. Mikey is a very technical dude. He's bigger than Lomachenko, and he showed single shot, one punch knockout power, or power in general, to hurt you with one shot. He hurt Elias Rojas at 140. He just knocked out Dejan Zlaticanin, who's a puncher who had like a 90% knockout ratio. It's different. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm not saying Lomachenko absolutely cannot beat Mikey Garcia, because again, I think Mike Garcia versus Lomachenko is more of a competitive matchup, because I don't think Mikey Garcia, although he's very methodical, technical fighter, I don't think he's as quick, and he's not as tall as Terence Crawford. I don't think he has the same exact athleticism, and his foot speed is probably slower, definitely slower than Crawford, because I was at the Postal fight, and the man could move when he wants and then take off on you when he wants and dictate. And Crawford's fighting big guys like Victor Postal at times. Different fight. But Mikey Garcia, he has a better shot just because of Mikey Garcia has slower foot speed. But to me, that's a very difficult fight. You have to understand moving up in weight process. Like, people always talk about Floyd Mayweather, for example, and how he doesn't knock anyone out. That's because he moved up 5 divisions. These guys, some of them, like Keith Thurman fought at 153 and got a knockout. You know what I'm saying? These guys are naturally bigger than Floyd was. Floyd and Pacquiao, they started in tiny divisions, and through skill, they were able to move up and fight naturally bigger guys. But not everyone's doing that. So it's a little bit different when someone's been at that division. Like, it's very impressive when I see Evander Holyfield go from cruiserweight to heavyweight and make a name for himself. Because, damn, his chin's holding up to guys who were just naturally probably bigger and stronger and have competed at heavyweight their whole career. So you guys have to understand this moving up in weight process is no joke. Like, Lomachenko, as talented as he is, sometimes people lose a little bit of speed. You know what I mean? Some people, to me, I don't see Lomachenko as a devastating knockout puncher. I see him like an Amir Khan style puncher, where you can't just go in there disrespectful and sticking your chin in the air or sticking your head out and expect to not get buzzed or something. But at the same time, he's not, I know for a fact, and I'm going to explain how I know, he's not this Deontay Wilder style puncher. And the reason is because I've seen Deontay Wilder knock out guys with single shots. I've never seen Lomachenko knock anyone out like at any type of level as a pro. I mean, he doesn't have that many fights with a single shot. In fact, he's throwing a gang of punches and jumping all over you, moving to the side. He's like the Tasmanian devil, like, woo-hoo. You know what I mean? He's like, needs Ritalin. He's just all over the place. And it's taking all of that, and then he's still getting guys out of there like round 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? After they're tenderized and softened up. You know what I mean? A natural big puncher, you can't get hit that many times by them and still be standing. You know what I mean? Even Golovkin or Danny Jacob, you can't. I mean, actually, Golovkin has a hell of a chin because he took a couple shots from Jacobs that were severe. But just most guys won't be able to stand up to, if you know true punchers, you're not going to just eat that many punches per round and still make it to the 9th round if you're a big puncher. So that's the other thing Loma has to worry about. As he moves up, he's going to start having more and more height deficit. At 130, he's still cool. He's probably taller than Tank Davis. He was taller than Jason Sosa. But you keep creeping up in divisions, all that stuff gets leveraged out, and then you have to rely on nothing but skill. Your power is not up there. Like even Andre Ward. Andre Ward at 168, you know what I mean? He's good frame. He moved up to that 75. Kovalev looked a hair taller. Sullivan Barrera looked bigger and a little bit taller too. You know what I mean? And those guys are both probably bigger punchers than Ward, stuff like that. So as you keep moving up, it's no game, man. You know what I mean? Even though it's only 5 pounds, that Mikey Garcia, that's a good-ass fight. I really want to see it. I would watch it. I would promote it. And if Lomachenko goes in there and beats Mikey Garcia, wow. And then obviously if Mikey Garcia beats Lomachenko, then that's a huge win for him. And both of these guys, why that's more realistic too is because Mikey Garcia, before his lawsuit with Top Rank, he was fighting in them lighter divisions. You know what I'm saying? So, and he hasn't really, he had a long layoff, but he hasn't been in the higher divisions as long as like a Terence Crawford. Crawford has how many fights at 140? He fought Thomas Delorme, Hank Lundy, Victor Postal. He's about to fight Felix Diaz. You know what I mean? That's like 3. Oh, John Molina. That's like 5 fights. And including a 35 fight with Gamboa, 35 fight with Ricky Burns. So he has way more time and way more fights in the can, acclimated to 135, 140 pounds, Terence Crawford that is. So I hope they can make the Mikey Garcia fight ASAP with Lomachenko. They both sound like they want it, and they're both skilled fighters. Mikey's gonna have to find a way to neutralize that, but I don't think it's what I'm reading in the comments. A lot of people are acting like Mikey has no shot. He certainly has a shot in that fight, because Lomachenko, I'm telling you guys have to know about moving up in weight. It's not what you think. And Mikey has power. You know what I mean? Brandon Rios is on record saying he sparred Maidana, fought Pacquiao in a fight, and Mikey Garcia hit him harder than all them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And part of your power is technique and accuracy, and Mikey Garcia has that. He's just gonna have to find a way to neutralize the frenetic pace and the movement and the ring IQ of a guy like Lomachenko. But Garcia has a deadly left hook. He can jab, and he's a technical fighter. So I don't know. Lomachenko might be biting off more than he could chew if he keeps moving up. 35, trying to fight Crawford at 40. I don't know. That's where it starts getting hairy. At 30, I don't really know if anyone could beat him. I mean, there's fights I want to see. Tank Davis, I would love to see that fight. Tank Davis, Liam Walsh winner. And there's a couple of fights there. Like if Gary Russell Jr. wants to move up, I wouldn't mind that. Orlando Salido, Miguel Berchelt, fights like that. But I don't know. That's my thoughts on the Mikey Garcia, Terence Crawford, Vasyl Lomachenko. But Lomachenko's a beast. He's definitely a good fighter. You're not going to get that one-sided HBO talk with me. Lomachenko's a beast, but I look at all these fights independently. And if Top Rank wants to work with their former fighter, Mikey Garcia, and make the fight, salute. I'll promote the hell out of that fight. That's a great fight. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego, signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.